August 2nd meeting of the school board will begin. We have our pledge of allegiance. I'll read that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We need to approve our agenda, and for that, we will have to have a presentation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
I need a motion,
I'll make the motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
a second. All in favor, say
Aye.
all opposed, nay. Motion is passed. We have our superintendent's report next.
Madam President, I have one item in the superintendent's report tonight. We have got our last installment of the summer of our construction updates. I've asked our Director of Plant Maintenance, Mr. Jerry White, to be in attendance to give the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll start out this afternoon with South Haven Elementary School, the window project there. For our window project, it went about as smooth as anyone that we've seen. Of course, we did get shorted some windows that will be in a little later on. I think it was one classroom in the back part of the cafeteria. But other than that, the project's been completed except for some caulking. You can see here, this was the old windows before we started. And of course, this is how it looks now with the new windows in there. So it's been quite an improvement in this project. Moving on to Horn Lake Middle School, HVAC retrofit. As we can see here, this was before we had the ceilings torn out and everything kind of messed up down there. And this is the after picture of the same cafeteria there. So you can see everything's been completed and put back together and we're ready to go there. This is the same school as showing the hallways here of, when the stuff was coming in, we was getting ready to do the project. And this is the way that same hallway looks today. So it's cleaned up and ready to go also. This is the units that were, as they were arriving, we were getting ready to, have them installed. And of course, this is just a picture showing that everything has been set and everything's ready to go there with them. And they looked up that we got air in, in every room. Hernando High School retrofit here. Of course, this was a half project here we did have at the school, and we'll be coming back next summer, hopefully, and completing this project. As you can see, this is some of the pictures that we had earlier that we showed you some 8 weeks ago, and this is what it looks like now. So it's also been cleaned up and ready to go also. This is one of the classrooms at the same school that we had, the ceilings and all torn up. And of course, this is the way that same classroom looks today. So they're ready to do school there. Olive Branch Intermediate School, I guess this is the one that we're probably the most proud of, is the way it turned out, because it's a total different school now. You walk in there and you think you're in a strange place, if you knew what the school looked like before. This is one of our before shots, and if you remember us talking about the concrete beams that we were so fascinated to find when we tore the ceilings and all out of this building. So that's the way it looked some 8 weeks ago when we was making these presentations to start with. And that's the same shot and how it looks today. Any of you that's had Olive Branch and has a chance, please go by and look at it. We're very proud of this one here. This looks like a brand new school. This is the same school, one of the hallways earlier. Moved on to a classroom here, and we'll go back out into that same hallway, but it shows you that everything's ready, everything's been set up as far as furniture, been put back in all classrooms, all areas, and this is back in the hallway that we just came out of. There was some of that stuff earlier. Fernando High School on the parking lot addition. This is the first shot that we showed you, I think, some 8 weeks ago when we were just getting started out there. We talked about the drainage over on the left-hand side. We were able to use the dirt from this project to help in our drainage situation there. And this picture that's coming up here is one that was taken this week and shows the complete project. As you can see, we tied this into the service road in the back, so you've got 2 entries to it. And the school buses coming into the parking down there to play baseball or whatever can go out that way, and they don't have to try to back down to a little single drive. We're proud of that. You can see the drainage that we did under the highway down at the far end. We've got drainage pipes there to the left between the parking lot and the field house there to take care of all the water that comes through there. And of course, we've got that sided, and it looks really good. DeSoto Central High, of course, I think this was the first project that got completed for us this year. This was the first picture that we showed you guys that was just beginning of milling. And this was a picture of the school, before we did it in an overview shot. And this is the way it looks now, and what a difference it made. I mean, really, it looks like a different place. Center Hill Middle School. This was the picture also 8 weeks ago that we showed you, and this is how it looks today. We're completely done there and ready for school, of course. This is the inside, showing that the furniture's been delivered, set up, and classrooms are ready to go. DeSoto Central Primary School also was one of the first ones that got completed. This was some 8 weeks ago. You can see there the picture on the left that we were a little bit ahead of most of the additions were at that point in time. And they went ahead and finished it up. They just feel like a little sod on the front end of it, which that should be done this weekend, hopefully. This is inside the children's classrooms on the inside of the building. At the Center Hill project, back up a little bit on that one, we found out that TBA, that is the TBA school, and we found out that TBA was offering energy rebate. So we applied for it, tried to apply for it. You had to be certified through TBA to even be able to apply for it, which meant you had to take some online classes and also had to do a day's worth of on-site training with TBA. But we got hooked up with Jerry Edwards with EK Automation, and he knew someone that was already certified. They did all the paperwork for us, did the application for us, and TBA will come and approve what we've done in energy safe equipment. And they're gonna cut us a check for some $31,500 on this project, so that'll be coming pretty short. Pleasant Hill Elementary, this was 8 weeks ago shot here. And this is how it looks today. We're completely through there. So you can see the side and off to the left, everything's been done. This is a shot on the inside of the furniture had just been delivered. Lewisburg Middle School was our last project, and we're still working down there today. And we'll be working some over the weekend. This was a shot of it some 8 weeks ago. And this is how it looks now. As you can see, the entrance has been put in. We still like the side. The side is supposed to be done tomorrow. We'll be working over the weekend. The floors will be waxed tonight. The furniture will be delivered and installed tomorrow, and we'll be ready for school Monday morning in that project also. So all 10 projects for all purposes are complete, and we'll be ready for school Monday and all of them. So we've enjoyed doing this presentation. Hope y'all have enjoyed watching it. I'd like to thank the guys who really put this thing together, and John Hodges was the one that did this for me to present at the board meeting. He's done a great job for me on it. He had a little help from some of the guys. Kelly Sewell did the overhead shots here with his drone. And Jeff Davis is also, besides being an area manager, he's a professional photographer, and he did some of the still shots for us also. So we enjoyed doing it, and thank you very much.
Right, thank you.
Ms. White, go ahead.
I want to thank you for having me on your little committee, because somebody here messed up, I think, and gave me an assignment to work with your group, and when I went out, it was, we've never had a job, we've never even been on a committee, but I enjoyed the few weeks I was with you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you and your team. Excellent job as always, and I know y'all are gonna be working all the way up through the weekend and make sure everything's ready to go on Monday morning for the children. Thank y'all so much. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Next, we have our attorney's report.
Yes, ma'am, I have 2 personnel employment matters that would have to be discussed in executive session.
The approval of the minutes for July 19th, 2018 board meeting. I need motion, please. Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All. That's that. The next thing is our consent agenda. We have a long, lengthy one this time, so I'm glad we don't have to do it individually. It took a lot of work for us, I know, for all of us to get into this and have more added. So we need, if there are any changes, the recommendation from Mr. Superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board approve the consent agenda.
Need a motion?
Make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passed. This next group of items that we have are all of our new business. We don't have a great deal of, but we have some important ones. And so, we will, first one is to tax the levy, order FY 2018-2019. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. In your packet is the tax levy order for the 18-19 fiscal year. Being that the board has already adopted a working budget, this is simply a request for ad valorem tax funding for support of the district.
Mr. Austin's recommendations.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve
approve the tax levy order for 2018-19.
I need a motion. Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The next one is Statement of Revenue and Expenditures, June 2018 preliminary. Ms. Graves.
Okay, year end. We may have some slight changes just between funds, we do some corrections and things like that. This should be the majority of, there should be no material changes. Our general fund revenues, we ended the year at $230,785,015, which is up about 1.5% over last year. Last year was $227,411,377. The majority of that was out of Norman and AEP. All funds received for the year right at 100% of what we budgeted, $281,844,756. That's only up about 0.8, less than 1% over last year. Our general fund expenditures are $220,378,284. Last year at this time, at the end of the year, it was $216,112,337, which is about 93% of what was budgeted. So only up 2% in expenditures over last year, but we are down 7% as to what was budgeted. So that is great news. All fund expenditures, of course, your funds that are above your general revenue funds are normally budgeted at 100% because they are reimbursable funds or their debt service. So that's why that total comes up to 99% of what was budgeted. But $290,922,273 was all fund expenditures for the district. That's only up about 2% over last year. So we had, it was great.
Very good. I need a recommendation, please.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of revenue and expenditures for June 2018. It's preliminary.
I need a motion.
I can make that motion.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion is passed. Statement of cash flow June 2018 preliminary. Ms. Graves.
The district maintenance cash balance, June is $85,178,246. All funds is at $112,474,241. District maintenance is about 70% of all funds, but this is the time of year that the cash balance is going to be lower because we make loans to other funds until we receive them in July of all of our federal funds that are reimbursable. So our invested balance is at $25,709,255, which is actually lower than last month because in June 30th we also have to adjust fair market value, but it reverses on July 1, so it'll go back up to higher than it was in May.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the statement of cash flow for June 2018.
Motion.
I make that motion.
Need a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. The next one is combined balance sheet, June 2018 preliminary. Ms. Graves.
The fund balance for all general funds for June is $97,599,545. We're up 7% over last year on all general funds. That's due to higher ad valorem and lower than expected expenditures, which carried over to the same thing. So last year the fund balance was $91,065,102, and of our entire fund balance for all funds, $113,451,600. The general funds account for about 86% of that. We did have a few projects that were not completed in FY18 that moved to FY19, which also contributed to the 7%. But the majority of that was due to conservative expenditures. I do want to say that all departments across the district did a very good job this year of, just because it's there doesn't mean you have to spend it. So everyone did a great job this year of making sure that if they needed to spend it, if not, they might not to.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the combined balance sheet for June 2018.
I need a motion, please.
So we move.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion passed. Certification of bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliations June 2018.
All bank statements have been reconciled with no exceptions.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the certification of bank reconciliations for June 2018.
Need a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed.
Thank you, Ms. Graves, for those reports. Great job on the budget this year.
Revised board policy. IHA grading system, Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am, we're asking for a revision to board policy IHA grading system due to a revision at the state level to their board policy. Previously, they had scheduled for a 75-25 testing procedure to take place in the 2018-2019 school year, but a recent board meeting provides that policy and will not be using that for state testing.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy IHA grading system.
Need a motion, please?
Make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Personnel, Mr. Alexander.
Yes, ma'am. Personnel packet this afternoon, you have pages 1 through 10, recommendations. Pages 11 through 15, personnel changes. Page 16, the request for additional pay for med chairs. The Sped Department budgets for 30 extra hours per school year to allow them to complete paperwork. This will begin August 3rd and end June 30th, 2019. The rate of $27 per hour. Pages 17 and 18 are your 2018-19 Sped Mets within the names of the two locations. Page 19 is a request for additional pay for Ms. Daugherty, who will be teaching 2 sections of college algebra online for schools that don't have a qualified instructor. She'll receive compensation of $2,500 per section. That will begin August 1st and end on December the 14th of 18. Page 20 is a request for additional pay for Ms. Bridges, who will be teaching part-time at the Palmer home. She's not to exceed 19 hours per week. She'll be paid $27 per hour beginning August 3rd and ending June 30th, 2019. Page 21 is a memo from Ms. Hallmark, our Director of Child Nutrition. She's requesting permission to change scheduled work days for cafeteria staff at Corn Lake Middle School due to maintenance updates that were taking place original scheduled time. Page 22 is a memo from Ms. Ingram, our Director of Federal Programs. She's requesting approval of a new Title IV mental health therapist unit. This will provide counseling and casework services to DCS students. This will be the district's 4th position approved for this position. Page 23 is a memo from Ms. Goff, our Director of Special Education. Under Ms. Parr, who currently works a 187-day contract. Our other behavior specialists are on a 200-day schedule. There is preparation work before school year begins, and to close out the school year, so we're asking to move her and her be like the others on a 200-day schedule. Page 24 is a memo from myself on data support. We set this training for up to 5 days for the new employee who will be hired for the vacant position of data support front desk receptionist. The additional days will allow the new employee to train Ms. Gardner prior to her term, to her resignation date on August 10th. Page 25 is a memo from myself on the reclassification. We're eliminating a counselor unit at Centerville High School and adding an additional teacher unit. Page 26 is a memo from myself on a Ms. Thompson. She's recently been hired at DeSoto Central High School to teach biology and zoology. She is currently receiving retirement benefits from the state of Arkansas, but with the need we have, especially in science, we're asking that we give her up to 20 years if she can prove that she does the education, will pay up to 20 years experience. Page 27 is a memo for myself on, this was 18-19 salary pay rates. Following salary and pay rate corrections for the following employees. Those salary pay rates, some were listed regular, the majority were actually left off from the previous board approval, and now they're included. Pages 18 and 19 is a classified teacher assistant pay scale. This pay scale now includes the 10% for assistants that work at Magnolia and DCAC. It was previously board approved in the memo, but not available for you to see on the scale. To now, page 29 is the 2018-19 nurse pay scale. This pay scale is also previously board approved, but it did not include the RN head nurse scale portion. Page 31 is the job description for the disciplinary hearing officer. What has been added is supervises and monitors all around programs in the district.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board approve personnel as presented.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion's passed. We now have residency appeals. If we have, Mr. Culver is going to speak to that.
Yes, ma'am. I have 3 matters for executive session.
The next thing we have will be our public comment. We have reached the time that we have for public comment. The public comment is not to discuss student matters or personnel and not at a recessed meeting. If the person has requested to speak, for public comment from the board's administrative assistant, they have 5 minutes to address the board, and they will be under the request to appear. If they have not turned in a request, they have 3 minutes. Remember, if it's a personnel or a student problem, we do not discuss that here. All right, so we will go into, that will be an executive session. So, you have to, okay, yes, sir.
Mr. Willoughby, I need to be sitting in the executive
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Is it a student matter?
Yes, sir.
Okay, student matter.
Anyone else?
Madam President, can I have a moment for
Yes, sir, Mr. Nichols.
personal privilege? As a board member, this board's been privileged this week to go with our superintendent to all of our schools in the city county. To speak, and I just want to say, there's a positive feeling out there, starting this new school year, for the DeSoto County school system. And I credit this gentleman that is our superintendent with a large majority of that. It really is a tremendous feeling to go to these individual schools and hear his statements and remarks to the administration and to the teachers, and for us to hear those remarks as a board member. So, thank you.
First of all, Mr. Nichols, I appreciate the support of all of our board members. I will say, we've got a great team, throughout the district, getting that job done, and it's very inspiring to go out and see our administrators and, faculty and staff at work and how excited they are. It inspires me to get to go out and see them and see the energy that they have. I appreciate the kind words, and on behalf of our team and, board members, we're all excited and, look forward to seeing what all of our students and faculty and staff and administrators accomplish this school year. Thank you.
No one else to speak. We will, I need a motion, we do have a couple of things for executive session. We have some personnel matters, regarding employment, we have some student residency matters, and we have, requests to appear. That's around some, please. Yeah, is Ms. Grimm here? All right, I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the these matters.
So moved.
Second,
Second.